Hi everyone, this is Sam Gray. I teach 8th grade English at the junior high, and today I'm going to be talking to you about tools for remote learning with Chromebooks. These 5 tools that I'm going to be talking about, you've probably heard of some of them, if not all of them, but I'm not really going to be walking you through how to work them. I'm more going to be showing you how they can be used for different projects or assignments in various content levels as well as grade levels. So, quick little side note, if you are interested at all in learning about how to do this kind of presentation that you're going to see today, as far as using Google Slides to create like a file folder, like the one I'm going to be using for this today, then on the 20th, I will be doing a tutorial of how to build this type of Google Slide presentation. So, you can go over and watch that on the 20th if you are interested. Otherwise, we're going to be talking about these 5 tools. So we're going to talk about Flipgrid, Screencastify, Nearpod, Book Creator, and Adobe Spark. Some of these I'm going to be able to show you some actual projects. Some of the other ones I won't be able to show you as many projects just because they have been created by other teachers and I don't have access to them, or because they would be really long to show you. But I will have a bunch of links in here that you can see samples of those on your own. So we're going to start with Flipgrid. For those of you who aren't familiar with it, Flipgrid is a video recording platform that allows students to respond to teachers and classmates to encourage social interaction. It is a Chrome extension. I'll show you what the website looks like in case you are unfamiliar with it. So this is what you see when you first log into Flipgrid. Students who would be making a grid, they would get to enter a join code here that would be provided by you. Otherwise, you would see the educator login, and you would be able to create your grids from here. So again, I'm not going to necessarily like walk you through how to do a grid, but these are just some grids that I've done in the past. So I've used this for parent-teacher conferences before, where I ask students to um, record a video answering 5 questions, and then I show it to their parents when they come in for conferences. It's always super embarrassing for the kids, but I love it. I think it's really funny. Their parents think it's funny and helpful. I've also used it as a back to school introduction. I use it for different assignments, different responses, and I most recently used it in the spring for remote learning for my students to give me responses about a chapter that we read in The Outsiders, because normally I would talk to them about it in person, but I didn't have that opportunity in May. So I wanted to hear from them without actually being with them. So that's Flipgrid, and I'll just show you. This is what I was able to do for them. I gave them a join code. I can set a picture or a GIF or whatever I want to. And then I, within this grid, had 2 topics. So they actually did 2 different videos for me here. They responded to chapter 1, and then they responded to chapter 9. And then their responses are in here. I can also put directions here. So I already had separate directions, but I just told them your response for chapter 1 goes on this grid. They already had the directions from a previous page. So I'm not going to show you any of their videos just for privacy reasons, but basically underneath all of this, I can click on their video and I can watch their response. What students like about Flipgrid is that they can cover their face. They have little like emojis or stickers or anything that they can put over their face so that they don't actually have to be seen in their video. And 8th graders love that. They do not want to be on camera unless it is something that they're doing for themselves. So that's a really cool feature from Flipgrid. They can also respond to each other's Flipgrids, which is nice. And it cultivates a lot of really great conversation. And it's more than just them typing back and forth to one another. With Flipgrid, you can also set the time that you want them to be, or that you want their videos to be. So you can have their videos be 30 seconds. You can have their videos be 5 minutes. So that's really nice too, because I can tell my students, I set the video for a minute, you need to fill at least 45 seconds of that, or whatever the case may be. So it's really nice to have a time on that as well. So here are some ways that you can use Flipgrid, and these work for different content areas as well as different grade levels. So like I said, I use them for intros and icebreakers. You can use them for class news or school news and events, debates, pen pals, check-ins, reflections, performances. This would work really well for like music courses or like art courses if you want them to show off the work that they've done. Absent students, this one's a cool thing that you can do with Flipgrid. If you have students who are absent, you can record a Flipgrid, or you can ask another student to record a Flipgrid, 1 minute just telling them what they missed and what they need to do. Science fairs, book reviews, peer feedback, like I said, they can respond to another person's Flipgrid with their own Flipgrid. So they can actually speak their response instead of typing it. Career day, virtual field trips, showing work, great for math. That if you want them to walk you through how they did their problems, Flipgrid is great for that. Vocal or oral journaling, and teacher modeling. If I want to show an example of something, I can record a Flipgrid and send it out to them. I also have a link here that's additional Flipgrid ideas. So this is going to show us, I think it's like 50 ways or something that we can use Flipgrid in the different content areas and different classrooms. I apologize for my internet not wanting to catch up. Okay, so 50 plus ways to use Flipgrid in your class. And what's cool about this link here is that you can actually click on these and it'll tell you like what instructions to put in and how you can use each of these different activities. So that's cool. These are like intros, language arts, math. So we've got like which one doesn't belong? And then it'll show you directions down here, like choose a number from the picture that does not fit with the other numbers. So this is a really cool resource that shows you various ways to use Flipgrid in the different grades and content areas: science and social studies, community building, and then beyond the classroom. So we've got like Flipgrid and phys ed. So there's a whole bunch of different resources there for you to be able to use Flipgrid. Screencastify is actually what I'm using right now to record this video. So Screencastify is a video recording platform that allows students and teachers to create videos for instructional or content-related use. It is a Chrome extension. You can record directly from the Chrome extension, which is really convenient. All I do is I just get onto the screen that I want to record. I click on the Chrome extension. It'll ask me if I want to do my camera or my desktop, if I want to record just the screen that I'm on or the whole screen. And then it records directly from my screen, and it's really nice. And I can upload to YouTube. I can save to my Google Drive. I can download it onto my computer. So there's a whole bunch of different things that you can do with Screencastify. So some ways that you can use Screencastify: instructional videos. So like the video that I'm doing right now, if you want to, this is actually, I use Screencastify for all of my instructional videos for my students. If I want to go through directions, if I want to show them an example of something, I use Screencastify to do that. Speeches or performances, they can record themselves with Screencastify. If you want something that's longer than 5 minutes, Screencastify is a good option to use. Flipgrid only goes up to 5 minutes. So if you want them to do a performance or a speech that's going to last 10 minutes, Flipgrid would not work for that. So you can move on to Screencastify. Narrating presentations. So in the same way that I am narrating over top of this presentation, students can do that as well, which is really effective if you're doing remote learning, because the students aren't there to stand up at the front of the room and talk to you about their Google slide presentation. So Screencastify will allow them to narrate it, and then they can just send you the video or submit the video wherever you're accepting your assignments. Practicing fluency. This is another good use for Screencastify. If you need students who are practicing a foreign language or a second language, practicing fluency, have them record themselves. They can send it to you. They can play it back. You can record yourself with those words and then send it to them. So that's a really good way to use it. Explanation of work, again, for math. If you need them to walk you through showing their work, you can have them record it. They can provide feedback and they can upload as a YouTube video and then send that YouTube link to a peer, or they can send it to you and provide feedback on different work. And then video dubbing. I struggled to find a good example of a project video dub. I found like school spirit video dubs, but I didn't find ones that were like actual assignments that people did. But basically, what a video dub is it's kind of like lip syncing. But video dubs are really cool to do with prior knowledge. I've seen it done this way, and I think it's really neat. So you could send your students a video of uh, a battle, like a war or a battle or something like that, and tell them to cut out the sound, like don't turn the sound on. And then they can play that video and they can record over top of that, and they can either try to explain what they think is going on in the video, or if there are people that they can kind of like read their lips, they can basically try to speak for those people and say what they think those people are saying. So this is really good for figuring out what their prior knowledge is. Do they understand that the battle that's happening here is between this side and this side? Do they understand that this person would speak like this or this person would speak like that? So video dubbing is really good for prior knowledge. It's also just really funny to see what they come up with. So that's Screencastify. Again, like I said, I don't have a lot to show you with this one, other than this presentation is Screencastified, because it's all videos, so they're a little bit lengthier, but there are a lot of different ways that you can use it. Nearpod is something that you probably are familiar with, but Nearpod is a student engagement platform that allows teachers to create presentations that use multiple methods of delivery and data response collection. Lessons can be live or student-paced. It is a Chrome extension. So the live part of this is great for remote learning, because if you are teaching synchronous classes, you can still do a live presentation with your students even though they're not in your classroom. So you give them the Flipgrid, or I'm sorry, the Nearpod code, and you basically control the pace at which they go through the presentation. So their screen will not advance until yours advances. These are different ways below here that Nearpod can collect data and responses, and I'm going to show you an example of them in just a moment. So you can have them respond with a drawing. You can have them take a quiz, take a poll, give an open-ended response, do matching pairs, a Flipgrid, which is cool because Nearpod can incorporate Flipgrid. Nearpod can also incorporate Google Slides and Google Classroom. You can have them do a collaborate board, a fill in the blank, time to climb, which is like a game, and then a memory test. So I'm going to show you some of those examples there. So on Nearpod, if you just go to nearpod.com, students, you would give them a code, which you would get from your presentation. They would enter it here. Otherwise, teachers, you're going to log in and you're going to be taken to your library. So I can do a lesson in Nearpod, which is where I create most of my lessons, or I can do a lesson in Google Slides. So it incorporates the use of Google Slides, which is really nice. You also have reports over here, sub-plans, which are pre-completed lessons, which are really nice if you need something for your students to do, but they need a little bit more independence. Sub-plans are good. And then your school library and district library. These are teachers in our schools and districts who have also made Nearpods. And then the Nearpod library is all of the content. So I just want to show you the various ways to collect data and responses. So the first one, an open-ended question. So I gave them a question, and it did just ask me to use my microphone, because what's cool about this is you can have them type it, but you can also have them record audio. Now, I did not give permission for my microphone right there, but if they give permission, they can record audio and they can record their answer, which is really nice for our students who have like a text to speech or a speech to text option, or can't do open-ended responses. This one is matching pairs. So my directions are up top. Students will match the antonyms. So I'm looking for big and small, dark and light. I can do a bunch of matching pairs. I only did 2 for the sake of this presentation. I can give them a quiz, multiple choice quiz. Who was the first president of the United States? Hopefully they select the right answer. I can have them draw a response. So I said, draw a smiley face. Okay, it's terrifying, but it works. Oopsie. And then here, that's fine. I just went to full screen. So this would be like a collaborate board. My directions were post your answer to the question asked in today's lesson. So I would have already asked them a question. They would put their answer here, post it. And then I also said, click the heart for the answers you agree with. So they can go through and once their classmates post, they can click the hearts and we can see, here are the answers that we're most agreed with. I can have them take a poll. I can have them fill in the blank. So my sentence was, Charlie has more shoes blank Jimmy. They would have a word bank down here and they would drag it up there, say done. I got them correct. I can have them do a memory test. I have no idea where these are, so I'm not going to do this whole thing. Okay, and then once they get them right, they can go from there. This is good if you're learning like new vocabulary. I can have them do time to climb, which is a game. So what color is SpongeBob SquarePants? He's yellow. For time to climb, they would get to pick like a little avatar and then it would climb them up a mountain. And it's kind of like Kahoot, but it climbs them up a mountain. And then I can also add, so this is like a vocabulary video. I don't really use vocabulary in my classroom, but I know that a lot of other teachers do. So you can also add this into your presentation, which is super cool. And it's just added directly from when you click on a new slide. So Nearpod has a ton of options. And then what I can do is I can click on my reports and I can see any of the presentations that I've done so far. I can actually go in and click on them and I can see my students' answers and their responses. I can see how many of them got questions correct, which questions a lot of them got wrong, so I know which content I should be focusing on and which students need a little bit more help. Okay, Book Creator is a project creation platform that allows students and teachers to create a multitude of projects. So Book Creator looks like this when you get there. Sign in. Okay, this is my book. It is not good, but it works. So I would click on a new book and I can choose how I want it. I do a lot of comics in my class, so Book Creator is really good for that. And then I can start adding my content from here. So I can add stickers and move them around. I can add panels so that I can actually make it look like a comic. Speech, thought. I can add media, so I can write. And so on and so forth. So that's really cool. And Book Creator is a neat way to relatively easily create projects. But I want to show you, I'm not going to show you all 50 ways, but this is 50 ways to use Book Creator in the classroom. And I think that this is awesome because this presentation was put together by the Book Creator team, and they put it together using Book Creator. So you can put together informational pieces using Book Creator. But from here, their table of contents, we've got different categories here, not really categories, but different titles that can tell you what each page is about and whether or not maybe it applies to your content. So like here, we know it's math, science, music, PE. Publishing would be good for ELA, write a story. So we've got a lot of different options here. We've got a week in second grade. So these are cool, and I'm just going to show you a couple of these so you can see what Book Creator looks like and what really awesome stuff you can do with it. So we'll look at Create Comics because that's what we were just doing. Okay, Create Comics over here, graphic novels, step-by-step guide. And they've got this little informational video here about creating comics that may or may not play for us. Okay. So basically what I showed you, they've got that layout and they can go from there. I think this Teach PE one is really awesome. The teacher here is using Book Creator to show the equipment for badminton. And I think that that's very, very helpful. We've got publishing, adventure books, checklists for publishing the teachers have created, poetry books, photo books. Oh, this is one that I wanted to focus on. Helping students with special needs. So Book Creator, I think one of the coolest features about Book Creator is that any book that is created, it can be read to students. So we've got this read up here. So that's really helpful. So if you create a book and you know, maybe it's instructions or something like that, and you want that read to the students, you can either insert a video of yourself reading it, or they can click the read to me option. And on each of these pages, what's really great is that they've got additional links about either how to create what is sampled here or how you can use it in the classroom. So, like these ones here, creating sign language books, app smashing the storytelling process, using Book Creator to help with guided reading, from Book Creator to printed book. So not only do they have 50 different activities here, but they've really got more like 100 because each one of these pages has an additional resource about either what was created or other things that you can create. So this is a really helpful tool, and it's just on that presentation here for you. And then our last tool is Adobe Spark. Adobe Spark is a video and project curation tool. And I'm just going to log in quickly. Okay, and these are some projects that I've done, which are not very many, but I've done some. So as you can see here, there are different formats that you can do: collages, web pages, slideshows, presentations, do an Instagram post. So they give you a template. And then from here, similar to Book Creator, you can add whatever you want to add. So if I want my layout to be like this, I can change it and make it look like that. I can use one of the pre-made templates. I can add my own text and designs and colors and all of that. I can download my project when I'm done. I can share it. And I can save it really quickly. So it's already saved there for me, which is awesome. At the bottom down here, you've also got additional templates for education. So some are like flyers, banners. There are some, this one is like a storyboard. welcome back. Adobe Spark works really well for diagrams as well. So this is basically just what the format looks like. I want to show you a couple of examples of ways that it's been used. So you can use Adobe Spark to enhance writing assignments. Like this one, this whole project is just kind of like made me really sad, but also was so well done. This originally was just a letter that the teacher had assigned, and then they used Adobe Spark to enhance that and make it go up a notch. So the letter was to the mom about not texting while driving. We've got a map here about texting laws. We've got the letter here and some pictures inside. Obviously, pictures of car crashes and cemeteries because we've got, danger with texting and driving. Some alternatives, and then finally just finishing up. So I think that this is such a cool way to take something as simple as writing a letter and turn it into really a multimedia project. You can use Adobe Spark to check for understanding. They can create projects that show you their understanding. You can do a 6-word summary or like an exit ticket. So this is just, they just made a single page Adobe Spark image, and it's a 6-word summary. They read Romeo and Juliet. They had to summarize it in 6 words. Teenagers have brief affairs, 6 die. So easy exit ticket, also a really good check for understanding. You can use it for reports and speeches. They can record over top, just like you could voice dub with Screencastify. You can voice dub with Adobe Spark as well. Like I said before, it's also good for charts and diagrams. There are already pre-made templates, or you can start from scratch and make your own. And then it's also really good for instructional videos. I can do a step-by-step instructional video for my students. And again, I can voice over basically, so I can walk them through it. So it's similar to how you would use any other kind of presentation tool, but it's got a little bit different kind of approach where you see with like the writing assignments and the 6-word summary. So hopefully you can use these tools. If you have any questions about them, feel free to email me. My email is grays@rlasd.net, so you can email me. Look through the examples here and the links that I've provided, and I hope that you can use them. Everybody have a great year.